life is better in community, and life is pretty lonely when you're isolated and doing things on your own.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much better. It's so much more impactful. More things can get done, and frankly, you're not alone when you pull people in with you. So I think a combination of all those things, it just made me realize, like, I don't want to do this alone. I can't do this alone. I'm not supposed to do this alone, and I'm not supposed to be good at it all. So I should really start asking for help.
Look, hell of an intro. I tell you what you info, but I never really been the type of dude to give no info. But if you see your ends low and you trying to get a benzo, I'll give your ass some game that'll change the way that you think, bro. Super skilled with the pencil, super ill in my mental. I reminisce on life, I'm nice, here's my memento. Get it through your tempo, I get on any tempo and give it all I got. I'm hot, I got like 10 flows, trying to live on the 10th floor, across from residentials that I own. My mind stay grown, I used to think clothes, I really used to think hoes and what I do to get those. And then I switched it up, I'm only thinking potential.
I
Right.
love it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm sure it's fun.
It is.
And it's a good thing you guys like each other.
Right.
Now we're really good friends. I've seen dark days. We've seen dark days of each other. So
Your roommates, you always do.
Yeah.
we are actually live here. So
Okay, sounds good.
this-
Well, welcome to another episode of a Walk and Grow podcast, where we are in the business of shining a brighter light on the issues that are currently plaguing our country. And today is an opportunity to talk about some of those issues and some of the passion that our honorable woman is offering today to the table. So we have the pleasure to welcome Maggie, Kane here on the show. Thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I've been following your work for quite some time, so I'm quite excited to even have the opportunity to have a conversation with you right now. So thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Well, thanks for the support. I'm excited to be here. It's an honor of ours as well.
Yeah. So we have a deep agenda, and I'm going to try to condense the work, the structure of this episode into a shorter, episode, but we'll put a lot of valuable content in there. So by that, I want to start with, kind of the background of how I met you. Quickly, I came across you, in 2020 when all the chaos was going on around town. One of your friends, mentioned, hey, there's a good place in town that's doing good work. There's amazing food. I'm like, amazing food? You already got me
you
there.
got me.
So, I made my way there the same day and saw the concept, and it really hit. It was one of those things where I'm like, this is really what life is all about.
That's right.
We are supposed to show our action through love. Like, that's really what it's all about. So when I saw that, and then, living downtown, you see, homeless walking down the street, people who are in need, are constantly in need, walking a dog, having a dog, you always have to be out in the morning, and so you see that kind of stuff. You're like, how can I help? How can I, shine a brighter light, even if it's not this issue, but even on relevant issues that, that we need to address at some point. So to me, I really want to begin with like, where did you emotionally involve with the concept of doing such a thing?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. Yes, the food is so good, but the fact that when you walk in the door, you feel that love that you were talking about. It's just a really, really cool place to work. It's a cool place to be a part of. I graduated college in 2013 from NC State. I actually had a degree in international business and Italian, so I thought my life was going to take a very different turn. And I was volunteering at a day shelter at the time, so had heard a speaker like this talk about a day shelter in town, and a day shelter works specifically with people experiencing homelessness. So we saw folks from out of the street coming in every day, getting some coffee, having a place to be, getting a PB&J. And I got to know so many of these incredible people. And so when I graduated college, a few of them came to my college graduation. And I just realized this is the work I need to stay in, and this is the work I need to do. And I was, to your point, falling in love with so many of these folks who lived very different life experiences than I did. But we realized that we had a lot more in common than we thought. And so I kind of formed my job, ran this day shelter, was the operations director, and got to know folks even more. And for me, getting to know people, any human, is done through food, coffee, something like that. That's our tool, right? And especially good food, but that's our tool, because it's what we all share. We have to eat.
Absolutely.
And you're kind of odd if you don't love to eat, but we all love to eat, right? So we all love food. And so I would eat with folks living in this extreme poverty, and I found that they wanted to go, or that I found that we had to go, essentially to the soup kitchen pretty much all the time. And so the soup kitchen's awesome in Raleigh. It feeds 300 people in an hour. They are knocking out and the hunger need here in this community. But we would stand in line on a pretty hot day like today. We'd get inside. We had to eat quickly so someone else could eat. We didn't get to choose what we wanted. It was whatever was served that day. And nothing is wrong with that because, again, they are serving hungry folks.
Right.
But what I found was it was so different than my life experience of getting to choose where I want to go and spend hours getting to know a friend or someone new. And so I started taking people out for meals, for birthday celebrations, things like that. And I found that a lot of these folks wanted to go to Golden Corral. I ended up there all the time. And my privilege said we ended up at Golden Corral. And for anyone who doesn't know, Golden Corral is a buffet restaurant. And so my privilege said people experiencing this extreme poverty are hungry and they want to pile their food on, literally eat the whole dang restaurant, right? And so I brought that up to my friend John, and he said, no, that is not why we choose Golden Corral. We choose it because here there's choice. I can choose if I want to order a steak today, or if I want a hamburger, or if I want a salad, or if I want a waffle. I get to choose. He said, Maggie, living outside, people make every choice for me, from what I eat to where I sleep. Here I get to choose. And then the second and more important thing is that I feel seen here. Living on the streets, living in poverty, in this cycle of poverty that I'm in, people treat me as invisible. They walk right over me, and they treat me as if I don't exist. Here, someone greets me. They come around and ask if I need a refill. They check on me. They give me a to-go box. They say bye as I'm leaving. I'm seen here. And so it was in that moment I said, yes, Raleigh is such a cool place to live. We have really awesome restaurants. We have really awesome nonprofits. But where's the place where everyone, no matter who you are, has choice and feels seen? Started researching, found the pay what you can system, and found that there were over 15 pay what you can cafes across the country. And said if other places can do this, then Raleigh can too. Started working on it in 2014. We opened in 2018 as a place at the table. Raleigh's first pay what you can restaurant, maybe not only at some point, but first pay what you can restaurant. And I can get into what that means, or we can.
Yeah, I want to look into it because when Francis first introduced me to this place, he says, yeah, you pay what you can. I'm like, what does that mean?
Right.
What are you talking about? You pay what you can. No, I go and I pay for what I bought. And he was like, no, you can't do that. If you only have $5 today and the meal is $10, you pay your $5 that's it. And I was like, I'm still not comprehending. Please elaborate on how you came across it, what intrigued you about it.
And also the people that volunteer here as well, man.
We'll get into it.
I love it. No, it's so true. It's the coolest place. It really is. So you walk in and you look around and it looks just like any restaurant you're in. And that's intentional. We want you to feel like you're walking into a normal restaurant that most of us would, not most, but many of us would, many days, right? So you smell good smells, you see fun photos on the wall, it's warm, you feel welcome. And then you get up to the register, and again, you think you're in a normal restaurant, but that's when you start to figure it out. There's some explainer signs, there's suggested pricing, and you see a menu, and all of those prices on the menu are suggested prices. So you can choose to pay that price. You can pay more and pay it forward. And for someone else who can't afford it, you can pay less, and people pay less every day, just like you said. They pay $5 and their meal was $10. So you can pay less because we know some weeks are harder than others, and all you can do is pay less, or you can pay by volunteering with us. So we see many people every day who are volunteering for their meal. We do have a full-time staff because we know the food and the experience has to be good. So our full-time staff is making sure that the bacon is fried to perfection, and the biscuits are.
And it is.
And it's so good. I know.
It is very good.
I wish we're here on a day that it's closed, but I wish y'all.
I'll bring him back tomorrow morning.
Right.
I will bring him back tomorrow.
Come on.
Or the next time you're in town.
Next time you're in town, you got to come and eat here. But so our awesome full-time staff make sure everything is that product is awesome because we want people to come back And all people, no matter who you are, will come out once for a good cause, but they'll come out again if the food and experience is good. So the food is really good, and then volunteers help us do everything else. We have tons of volunteers, people who sign up online, people who sign up for a weekly shift, people who just walk in and volunteer at any point in the day. So we've got about 100 people a day volunteering in this restaurant. And they are doing everything from doing dishes to running food to being the door greeter. We always have a door greeter, to bussing tables. And so there's a lot going on here. But the volunteers are the true heart of the mission. Our mission is community and good food for all, regardless of means. And we are, there's a reason community's first. We are building community in everything we do, whether it's eating together, whether it's volunteering together. There's just this really neat culture and community being built here around doing dishes together, or greeting at the door, or sitting and having a meal at one of these bigger tables. So again, it's this cool, unique culture that doesn't happen in a lot of places. And it's the way, as to your point earlier, Francis, it's the way that life should be.
Right.
It should be a place where everyone feels welcome and all different cultures, communities, backgrounds are coming together.
Right. So does that answer your question?
Yeah. No, I have to, again, come see it for myself.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense until you actually see it.
It's a very, very amazing experience.
Yeah.
When
we came here, we came looking for you. So it was different to not even come here and grab something to eat.
Yeah.
But I think this week I'll make that happen.
Yeah.
And
You think you will.
I will. No, exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. I'm
Yeah.
going to come in here and see exactly. I even may volunteer.
You should volunteer.
And we encourage any listener who will listen to this episode to do the same.
Yeah.
It's an amazing experience that everyone should at least experience once.
Because you don't find things like this
No.
at all.
Yeah.
No, and I definitely don't take credit for this. This is a community, and that is what's so cool
Right,
about it. Is
exactly.
the community opened this place, the Raleigh community, and they will continue to support it.
Yeah.
Right.
We are a product of people
Our
coming
environment,
together
yep.
to make this happen. And so anyone from restaurateurs to nonprofiters to lawyers to accountants to folks working, clients who are going to these nonprofits, every single person had their hand in making this happen. And that's the cool thing every day is the only way this works is when people step up and get involved in some way, and everyone can get involved, whether they volunteer, whether they dine here, whether they donate here. They get to play a part in making this community cafe happen.
Right. That's amazing. Cool. To me, what really caught me was the whole concept, even if you look for a believer like myself, and a lot of the story in the Bible, are through community, through, togetherness, food involved. Jesus fed over 5,000 people in the Bible. So it's like, when you see that concept being, in our physical plane right now, seeing it, it's amazing. It's like, now I see what it was all about type of situation.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for you for doing this, and I hope, a lot of people take that initiative to also drive that story a bit more, and create more, places where people can come together like that.
Yeah.
My next question is kind of, you went through that phase, you did your research,
Yep.
and you realized, okay, I'm going to do this. Did you know at that time that you were capable of seeing it through? Did you already have that? Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
No, does anyone? I think I cut you off with your question.
No, that was it.
No, absolutely not. And so we took, for anyone who doesn't know the story, and it's funny because I get asked a lot or told a lot, I've been following you since the beginning, Maggie, and I always say, since 2014, we didn't open until 2018. So we were founded in 2014. We opened January 8th of 2018. So a good 4 years of building this.
And she redid the inside in 2020.
Yep, 2020,
I met you right before you closed, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's all a blur.
Yeah.
The pandemic is all a blur. And so
we try to forget it.
Exactly. But for us, a lot of good things came out of it, too.
Yeah.
We were able to outreach and do so many amazing things and with new folks coming through these doors. And just bring more people to the table, literally.
Right, exactly.
But we were able, the person next door to us moved out, so we were able to take over the kitchen or take over their space, build a commercial kitchen, and that allowed us to feed more people and have more seats for folks that need meals and just people in general that want to come here. But we've been able to feed a lot more folks in this space because of being able to expand. We also have Wake Tech. We have an awesome partnership with the local community college, Wake Tech. They are in here at night. They wanted to make culinary accessible, so they'll probably be coming in a little bit. They teach a night class every afternoon, evening to folks that want to learn a new trade and want to learn the culinary business so they can get a job somewhere in downtown Raleigh. So it's a really cool partnership. And there's another nonprofit in this community that pays for our folks, anyone who's below the federal poverty line, to take that class and learn it and go through the 5-week program. Yeah. So it's cool. But back to your original question of, did I think this was going to happen? No. And that's why, like, I'm everyone says, Maggie, you're an entrepreneur. And I say, yes, but this only happened because of everyone that made it happen together. And so I could not have done it without the hundreds and hundreds of people that supported me this whole time and still to this day. So no, there were a lot of moments over the 4 years that I was ready to give up and quit. And also as a fellow believer, there was one weekend where I said, God, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to see a sign or something. I need to see if this is going to happen. Yep. And that Monday, we got some funding that I could start paying myself a salary. And then the Tuesday, because I was working all these odd jobs and bars and stuff like that. Yeah. And then the Tuesday, our real estate agent called us and said, we have a space for you. Boom. And so, it's just like really cool. Like God was working the whole time. Absolutely. But there were a lot of moments that I wanted to give up.
Yeah. But you kept on going. And that's strongly because of how attached you were to the whole,
I believe in it. I believed in it so much that, and I still do. And everyone asks me if I'm burned out because now it's been 10 years. And I know.
Oh, crap. It's been 10
years.
Yeah.
Almost. I mean,
it was what, 23? You were at 20.
I was 23 and I'm getting up there.
Why do you say that?
I know. I'm getting up there. I'm getting up there. I know. Exactly. And so it's wild, but I'm not burned out because I really believe in it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and there's nothing that could really tear you down just because it's your belief of what it is, and you actually have seen it come to fruition. Yeah. So there's no better feeling than that, to actually not be able to see something through, get punched 1,000 or however many times you got punched. To get back up and to now see it, and now to see where do you see it really going?
Yeah, we're really pumped. We're really excited to talk about what's next. That was the conversation. I was on the phone with someone right when you got here. We're presenting tonight with a few more ideas that we have. Nice. We really would love. We want to do a ton more outreach. We want to work with more and more nonprofit partners to get more families and people in here eating that really need a meal. So we're excited about that potential now that we have a bigger space. Now that we have a staff, we hired a partnership coordinator. He's amazing. So he's really going to help us build our partnerships and get more people who need a meal and community in this space. So that's number one. Number two is we really would like to help people open up pay what you can restaurants. So for us, it's been so awesome to be able to meet many folks that want to start these. Right. And so I love doing that. Yeah. We don't think that it's another place at the table anywhere. We think that these cafes come out of the community. And so there's a reason it took us 4 years. So if another place wants to start a pay what you can restaurant, we'll help you, we'll work with you. But it's really going to come out of the heart of who y'all are as a community. Yeah. And we feel like we have been fortunate to thrive here and figure out a working model. So we want to pay it forward and help other people do it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Did you, how did that come about? Even getting that idea of, hey, this is what we want to do. Yeah. And also, I'm just thinking now based off of the people that I know, and you can relate to this. I'm currently in college not me, I'm just saying an individual who could be listening to this, who is in college and want to, go that path and open something like that. What's your advice to them right now in terms of hey, what are some necessary steps they can take now to get ready for, an adventure like that? Because you've been there, you've seen all the colors. One thing that I like about you is I read an article, they were talking about, how you were always, when you met someone, it's who can you introduce me to next? Yep. I really love that concept.
You took my answer.
I really love that concept. And when I saw that, I'm like, I'm going to use this. And everywhere that I go is what I use. And that's what, push the agenda, open those doors that are closed. So I'm really, thankful for that as well.
Heck yeah, no, it's so true. That's it. And I'll say that first is anytime you meet someone and you're telling what you want to do or what your passion is, ask them directly, who else can you introduce me to that would be interested in this, and or just who can you introduce me to, right?
Yeah.
And people love making intros. People love making connections and connecting good people, and then follow up with that person. So don't expect them to just to do it. Right. You follow up immediately with an email, text, call saying you promised that you would make this intro. You said you'd make this intro. I think the second thing is to ask for help and not be afraid to ask for help. Always ask for help. People want to help people. People especially want to help young people. And so people want to help people. They just have to be asked. Right. So I think, that the second thing is really like, don't be afraid to ask. Get people to come on board with you on your team. It's better together for sure. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And then if someone says no, shake it off your back and then ask them again later. Right? So don't be afraid to ask them again later.
It could be a different season. People are in different season. Yeah.
I genuinely think people like helping people.
Right.
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
And they like to be asked.
Right.
If anything, they like to be asked, and they'll probably do it. Yeah. I think the third thing is to celebrate everything. Celebrate everything from that first $5 ticket you got, or whatever it is. Whether it's a nonprofit, a donation, or investor, whatever it is. Celebrate every little thing, because that helps you just remember how precious and special this whole experience is. And not be, still be humbled by it. Right. I think we lose track and we don't think we're not doing well enough, and the process goes quickly. That's when we get burned out. So definitely is celebrate everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you said something interesting in there, and this is something I had to work through. So I kind of want to help the person listening even work through it as well. How was it that you were able to get over the fact that you have to ask for help in order to get it? Because myself, I used to just, I put my head down and I'll figure it out. But now I've overcome that and try to figure out, all right, you have to ask for help. You have to get some sort of help from somebody in order for you to get what it is that you're looking for. So how was it that you were able to kind of get over that hump?
Because I'm bad at a lot of things. I'm not good at a lot of things. No, in all seriousness, we are not supposed to be good at everything. There is no possible way. Like, if you're a person of faith, God did not create us to be good at everything. And if you're not a person of faith, it's just the plain truth. Like, we're not supposed to be good at everything. So people have different skills that complement each other. And so I think it's that. I think I finally realized, and I said, okay, I'm good at talking to people, but I'm not good at accounting. I'm not good at reading legal documents. I'm not good at running a restaurant. So I'm gonna pull those people in that have these skills that I don't have and bring them to the table. And again, it goes back to, people love to talk about what their specialty is. And so I realized that too. Like, I love to talk about how much I love people. So I'm sure someone loves to talk about how they're a lawyer and they have figured out how to, figure out those documents, or whatever it is, or tax, or whatever it is, all the stuff I still don't know. And so I think I just and to take it a step further is, life is better in community, and life is pretty lonely when you're isolated and doing things on your own. It's so much better. It's so much more impactful. More things can get done, and frankly, you're not alone when you pull people in with you. So I think a combination of all those things, it just made me realize, I don't want to do this alone. I can't do this alone. I'm not supposed to do this alone, and I'm not supposed to be good at it all. So I should really start asking for help. And starting to see that, this accountant came in and helped me, and we frankly got things done so much quicker than it would have if I was reading this debits and credits thing.
Don't take me back to college, please.
I love debits and credits. I remember the YouTubes.
Well, welcome to the club.
Exactly. So I could spend hours, and time is money too. So that's the other thing. Time is money. And so I could spend hours reading this, but then I'm not spending it on what I am a specialist in.
Yeah. It's amazing to see how you were able to keep a positive attitude, throughout that journey as well. And
well, not always.
For the most part, and that's what got you here.
Yeah, for sure.
And one thing that we were just talking about it, make sure you have people around you that will compliment you, and I agree with that. I've been saying that for, a long time now. I think even in previous episode is, we're meant to live in harmony here. We're meant to compliment one another. We have, we all have a gift that we're supposed to shine a brighter light on and help make this place a better place. So with that concept, is you want to make sure the people that you're meeting, you're able to filter through who has either meet your frequency or has a higher frequency than you, and kind of see the word the way share your values and principles. So do you think there were a time where you encountered people that how were you able to block out the noise from people that you did not want to associate with during this journey?
Oh, I haven't gotten that question before. That is so true. I think I'll frame it a little differently and just say, like, I always hire better people than I am. I just always hire better people than I am. And like, that's like number one rule is like, hire really good people that are smarter than you. Mm-hmm. And so I hired really good people, and we continue to hire really good people. And I think everyone else is just not going to make it. They're not going to get the mission. And so I have a board member that always says, everyone has a place to be, but it doesn't mean this is their place to be.
Right.
So I think I also think being very good with confrontation and not being afraid to confront, and always seeing the mission first and foremost. So being able to confront and in a nice, dignified way, and knowing the missions in the back of your mind, like, is this meaningful and impactful with our mission? Right. Does this person get the mission? Right. Unfortunately, we had to recently let someone go a little bit ago because there was a breach of mission, and it's just and
it's not their place.
It's not their place right now, and that's okay.
Yep.
But always looking out. That was a long way of saying always looking out for the mission, right. And just hiring really, really great people.
Right. And for that someone who's gone, it's an opportunity to sit down, reflect, and recalibrate, reframe your mind in terms of what am I looking to follow, what mission am I looking to follow, and get that identity, and you will find yourself in an opportunity where you don't have to go through that again.
Yes.
That goes for anyone.
Spend the time to actually look at that mission and what it even looks like.
Exactly.
Dig it in. Don't go wide.
Yeah.
Go deeper.
Right.
And try to truly indeed figure that out, because I feel like a lot of times where we try to figure out what our mission is, we surface level, and without actually diving deep into it to identify exactly what it is and understand, like, this is your belief in the end.
And one thing that helps with that is your emotion. What emotions triggers you?
Yep.
One thing I identified just looking at my picture is every picture where I show emotion of love are pictures where I was at a peak. I was very happy. I was like, had a good time. But pictures that were dark, like you can tell I was going through something at that time. So it's like when your emotions are good, you're in a good place.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to ask is, all of this takes money, takes energy and effort to go through this, and for somebody to be leading such a deep agenda, how did you get comfortable around money, around the subject of money?
Yeah, and it's a large portion of my job. We have to fundraise about 40% of our budget. So we're fortunate as a nonprofit to have 60% coming in through cafe operations, but 40% is fundraise. So it's a lot of asking people for money. And so in the beginning, we did not ask for money at first. Everyone always asked me, how did you fundraise? What you needed to open up a cafe? And I always say we friend raised. So we built friends. And it goes back to what I've said 5 times already. It's the power of people. It's the power of relationships. It's the power of everyone that came to make this place happen. So in the 4 years of getting to where we are, it was really, truly just telling the story and getting friends and friends of table. And then when we finally had a space, we called on all those folks and said, we have a space. We'd love for you to be involved. And pretty much all of them got involved.
Right.
And so it really is like the power of trust, relationships, and friend raising that made this happen. And now it's just inviting people to be a part of our mission every single day, inviting people to play a small part in what we do. And it's really it's a joy to invite people to be a part of what we're doing now, whether it's financially or volunteer wise. Because it's like proven to work, and you can just see the mission working. So we got here because of the power of people and their donations, corporate sponsors, faith communities, a few grants, and that's how we continue to still be here.
That's amazing. It's interesting to know how a lot of people play an impact in this becoming, especially the community to begin with, making this what it is now. It is a true blessing that you've been able to surround yourself with amazing people. One of the things that just came to mind was around the aspect of being around people. You have to maintain a certain enthusiasm. It's a certain set of behavior, and principles.
Energy.
Yeah. How did you do you think it changed? Do you think you kind of have a rhythm now where that character of yours is set, or do you still you're still learning? I mean, I think we're all still learning. We're all students and and teachers at the same time, but for your own journey, your own growth, how have you seen that going?
It's a great question. I haven't gotten that question either. So in talking about our what our gifts are, right? My gift is energy for sure. Like God gave me energy, God gave me passion, and if it doesn't show, it's here. It is here. Yeah. And so I definitely have the gift of energy and passion.
And it's a positive one too, for those who are wondering.
Thank you for saying that. Well, I don't know when I missed last week, so I don't know if that was the case.
It's all good. It was all good. I looked at him, I just laughed, and he was like,
yeah.
You're sounding, so you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, I feel terrible. I don't miss a lot of meetings. So so I do think I have a gift of energy, and that's not going to stop. And then we have, it goes back to hiring good people. We have a lot of people in this space that are passionate and energetic about this mission, and we will continue to. And we have so many champion volunteers and people that are going to keep the passion in this place. Amazing. I'm actually taking 6 weeks off in the summer because I want this place to thrive and that passion to be even better than when I'm here. And so I'm going to step away, and the team is going to rock it even better than when I'm here and make even better decisions. And so I think there's going to be so many people that step up to show that passion and that energy in this space. Good. And I think that's what we as leaders are supposed to do. We're supposed to let other people
be
leaders and uplift. And if I stay around for too long, then they don't get to do that. Right. So I'm excited to see the energy that comes alive here.
Now, how was that decision made? Like, not necessarily what it took to get there, but like for yourself.
Yeah.
Just taking 6 weeks away from something like
Hardest
this.
thing ever.
Can you talk about that? Because I think a lot of people fail to realize when you're so passionate about something, it's tough to kind of take yourself out of it.
Yep.
I always get that all the time, especially with this guy. He always comes down. He's like, yo, you got to chill sometimes. So, I'm chilling by working.
But I love doing this. I can work 80 hours a week or more. I think I just realized that I think I was the right person to get this place open, but there are so many other amazing humans that impact this cafe each day, and for me to be here every day making decisions, for me to be here every day as the person everyone looks to, that means that other people aren't looked to, and other people aren't asked, and so I have to walk away so that they can be the decision makers, and it doesn't and so for me, yes, it's hard because I'm a control freak, and I'm so passionate about this place and the relationships. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But I want this place to be here for the next 50 years. And so for the good of the cafe, I do think nonprofit leaders and founders stick around way too long. And I don't want to ever, in some cases, I don't want to ever drive this place down. So I am very excited to ultimately see this place thrive and grow and continue to create amazing things.
How many phone calls do you think you're going to get?
Well, I'm actually going to be off the grid completely. So no one will be able to call me, but probably a lot. I will be international. So not having an international phone plan won't let me see that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And you get to really enjoy your free time for a little while.
Yeah, but yes, lots of anxiety also. So there's excitement, but there's about what's to come for the cafe, but a lot of anxiety because it's and a lot of the anxiety falls on me and my own ego and my own desire to be a part of everything. So
and you just got it. You just got to my next question. Do you feel as though you have a healthy ego?
No.
No.
Does anyone?
I think it's possible if you nurture it, if you're aware of it. Let's just put it this way.
Yes.
If you're aware of it, your ego.
I definitely have asked people in my life to hold me accountable in that.
Gotcha. And that's good.
And I hope they do. I hope they are truthful in that, because I do think we can we can get lost in our own egos and our own credit and credibility. And so that, I don't want to ever be the person that is doing it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. And when I am, that's the time to completely go.
Yeah. That's amazing. And just to kind of go back on that, I have to say, I like the energy. I like, who you stand for, what you stand for, and the place that you got going on here. It says a lot about, what you're trying to accomplish in our community. And if we were in a position to help, we'll probably try to do something help. When we do get to that point. When we get to that point. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for correcting me. But when we get to that point, we will, dedicate our time and effort to see this place do even more and really shine a brighter light here in our community and empower others as well. So with that being said, I don't have any other questions.
I got one last question.
I think she answered most of my. I got one last one.
What about the USDA question?
Are you sure?
I could get into it, but I don't want to. But one thing I do want to mention while we're here. One key element, if you're listening to this episode, is relationship, and the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. I've always said this, and I always tell this guy: is relationship is a form of currency, and proximity is power. Whoever you surround yourself has the ability to help, and you also have the ability to showcase your skill set and help that individual. So it's not how you do it, is who you know sometimes.
Who, not how.
Having that balance helps you, even accomplish more, and get further in life. So one key, as we're talking about this, is, just remember to surround yourself with people that will, empower you, enlighten you, and bring positivity into your life and keep you going in the right direction, and uplift you, and people that you can also serve, be of service to others. That's very important. That's really number one, in terms of foundation of relationship, is how can you be of service to somebody else. But that's my take on relationship. I don't have any questions. You said you had one more question.
So what does a day in Maggie's life look like?
I had to. So far it's 2:00 right now. I've had probably 7 meetings. No, I do. I go to the gym in the morning. I'm one of the early birds. 4:45er in the morning. One, everyone's like, why do you answer email at 4? Because Likewise. I go to the gym at 4:45, and got a good crew that I work out with in the morning, and then I start my day 6:30 ish. We open at 8. We used to open at 7. Thank God we don't open at 8 anymore. So we are here, just loving on people, building relationships. Dealing with any chaos that comes. It is there's a lot that happens in this place. I always say it's the best show in town. If you want a show, you can sit here and we should have our own reality TV show
or a talent show.
What?
Or a talent show.
Or a talent show. I mean, exactly. They'll play it both ways. It really is, though. You might see a fight break out. You might see a coffee mug thrown at my face. You might see hugs being given at the front door. So it's beautiful chaos. And so we are here. I sit in a lot of meetings. A lot of people call me Maggie, Kane, Queen of Meetings. So I am always in meetings.
I had to come back 3 times just to, try to get even your phone number. So
okay. Well, it's on my business card next time. So I sit in a lot of meetings, and then a big part of my life is helping a lot of local nonprofits, like being a part of a lot of local nonprofits. I think our Raleigh is really awesome that we have so many good nonprofits. So I end up doing a lot of that in the evening, of supporting other organizations, going to committee meetings and things like that. So it's not the most fun life, but it's fun to me.
Yeah. And that's all that matters.
Right. And for anyone listening, it's really a party. It's an experience. It's a party. Go out there and have fun and show, love to everyone that you meet in that environment. And it will uplift your spirit when you're there. So I hope that if you're listening to this episode, go out there and even volunteer or, just even say hi, get something, a bagel, but at least, see for yourself what's going on in our community. It's important. And we spend so much time in this environment, we may as well, have a contribution and be there for others.
Yeah.
And where can people volunteer? Like, what does... How do they do that?
For sure. And I'll follow up to what you said, Francis, and say that if you need a meal, we are always a place for anyone that needs a meal. So know that. Pass it to anyone you know. Right. We're always a place that you can come and get a meal and pay what you can. And volunteering, you can either show up and volunteer, or you can sign up online. So our website is tableraleigh.org, and so that would be tableraleigh.org/volunteer. We are also on social media at Table Raleigh, so people can, tag us or can see us. We post a lot of our volunteer opportunities on there too.
Okay.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, your story and your message and your passion with us today. And I hope you had a good time being on our show today.
Oh, I had a blast. Y'all are so easy to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what we wanted.
That's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
We wanted to have a conversation and not make it as if we were coming, we're FBI agent and try to get down your throat. So,
And this guy smiles all the time. So it's like,
I have a good smile.
You're like glowing over here, and I'm like, wow, this makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to say? Your last remarks?
Any remarks?
No, just come see us. I really appreciate being on this, and it's been great to talk to y'all. And I'm excited for all the new folks that will come through these doors.
Yeah, amazing. So remember, this was a place at a table. Just remember that everyone does deserve a place at a table, and you have a place here. Good. So make sure you come through and show some love. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Really, man, the focus is just leveling up. Cause I know the life I want, I'm just setting it up. Removing those that's close who try messing it up. Can't wait for champagne toast with the relevant bunch. Like, what's up? Yeah. Like, what you do, homie? What's your vision? How you thinking? How you move, homie? And is you cool, homie? You thinking building, then that's something we could do, homie.